A while ago, I came across this breathtaking video of this tribesman walking across the seafloor for minutes on a single breath hold hunting for a fish. After seeing that video, I became slightly obsessed with the notion that a human being can hold their breath for multiple minutes while hunting underwater for their food. I then learned that humans have a built-in mammalian dive reflex, which when a human submerges its face in cold water, among many other things, the heart rate immediately begins to slow and the body conserves oxygen. Now, what that tribesman does, it seems superhuman, but it's not, because he's a human. And when I see a human do something, I prefer to think that me being human as well, given enough time and practice that, well, I could probably do it as well. And right now, with pretty much no preparation, my breath hold is...
Before we really get into this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you get notified about new videos like this one.
Only about 51 seconds. That thought that I can do it too has led us to Kalamata, Greece, where today I begin freediving lessons. Now, I'm not sure how long it will take, but the goal is to be able to dive for 3 minutes on a breath hold, and eventually I will begin hunting for my own food with a spear gun.
We arrived at Freediving Club Greece and we met the team.
Hello, I'm Nicholas. I'm from Greece and I'm a freediving instructor.
Hi, I'm Geraldine.
Hi, I'm Isabella. Welcome to Freediving Club Greece.
We started in the classroom and Nicholas, he basically explained everything that we could expect to happen while we were holding our breath, right? Like when a human holds their breath, the body does things and they do the same thing for everybody. You hold your breath and you end up getting contractions. There's a whole process that happens and then there's a whole technique to doing a breath hold. Knowing what you're going to experience during a breath hold before experiencing it is very helpful, because then as it's happening, it doesn't freak you out because you know, okay, at about a minute in, I'm gonna start feeling contractions, my body's gonna start reacting this way and that way, and I'm gonna get the urge to breathe. That just means I have carbon dioxide in my body, not that I'm out of oxygen. Learning all of that was very reassuring and I think properly prepared us for going into the pool. We were provided with fins, a two-piece wetsuit, weights, mask, and a snorkel. Something else Nicholas warned us about was putting on wetsuits. Some people legit freak out. I went into it just like, okay, I know I can hold my breath for a minute, so just take it easy.
That went smoother than I expected.
That's good.
We're going to practice static apnea and then some dynamic apnea, and we'll start getting comfortable in the water.
So apnea just means breath hold. There's static apnea and dynamic apnea. Static means not moving, dynamic means moving. The whole goal of static apnea is just to get comfortable with holding your breath and hold your breath for as long as possible. And one of the really nice things about static apnea is, one, you're not moving, so you're conserving as much oxygen as possible, and two, you're right at the surface, so you know nothing can go wrong. And if something goes wrong, you're at the surface, and you've got a buddy there watching you. We did a few different rounds of static apnea that Nicholas timed.
So if I ask you how long was that, how much would you say?
Maybe like 1 minute.
Okay, that was 1 minute and 45.
1 minute 45.
And this is what I told you, that you're going to realize that your body is starting to work. So your body is slowing down because it adapts to freediving, so the time stretches.
Wow.
Because you're usually monitoring time with the rhythm of your body. When the rhythm slows down, then the clock doesn't work anymore.
He taught us the rescue technique where you push down on one shoulder, you pull up on the other, and that rolls them. You put your hand underneath their neck, you pull the mask off of their face so that their face is now exposed to air. Blow, tap, talk. So you blow on their face so that their body knows that they are in air and that it's safe to breathe. Tap them on the shoulder very lightly so that you give them tactile input, and then you talk to them in a very calming tone of voice, saying positive words. And that is the procedure to wake somebody up from a blackout.
Day one, good.
Everybody did really well.
I managed to hold my breath longer than I thought I would.
My lungs feel a lot bigger already, more expanded. So hopefully that'll be good and helpful for tomorrow.
Had similar feelings whenever I was learning scuba diving of being under the water and slightly panicking at some points, and then but being in a pool and being like, okay, I can just go to the surface. Like we swam across the length of the pool, and then we need to turn around and swim back. On my first attempt, I swam half the pool and kind of panicked and had to come up out of the water, and then came back and was able to calm myself down and then just focus on the strokes of the fin strokes, and made it the whole way, turned around, made it all the way back without a hitch. It's a new thing. It's how it goes. You get scared, and then you do it, and then you get nervous, and then you keep doing it, and then you get better at it, you get more comfortable with it. It's uncomfortable, then it gets more comfortable. That's how it goes. Held my breath for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Almost to the 3-minute mark.
The next day, everybody was preparing to go out to the deep water so that we could do some free immersion. I was a little bit apprehensive because it is a bit scary, but I was also very excited. And I knew that feeling of like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do this would go away as soon as I got better at it. Where we ended up dropping the anchor was about 40 meters deep, but we had 20 meters of rope with a weight on the end of it that we used to pull ourselves down into the water, which is what free immersion is. Free immersion is just pulling yourself down into the water. Free immersion is surprisingly fun. You would not think that just pulling yourself down into the water would be fun or exhilarating or any of that. Being underwater itself and holding your breath and knowing that you could stay down there for more than 10 seconds is exhilarating. The deeper you go, the less buoyant you become. You can eventually become negatively buoyant to where you start to sink. But as you're coming up, you become more buoyant. And so as you're coming up, you start to really fly to the surface. And that is very fun. It's very, very fun. Once we started doing the free immersion, after 5-6 dives, I started to get comfortable with it, and those feelings of apprehension all went away as I expected them to. The improvement from the day before being in the pool makes the whole process so satisfying. The progression happens incredibly fast.
Soap up the inside. There we go. I'm getting good at this. Oh! Day 3 of freediving training. Today, the goal is to dive down to 20 meters.
Day 3 was our last day of training. I was feeling really good and very excited to get back into the water so that I could hit that 20-meter mark. During this practice, a few times I had been diving and I would look up. Well, I guess I would look down the rope to see, where I was in relation to the marks. And Nicholas told me when I got to the surface, he's like, don't do that. Just look, just right in front of you. Keep your head straight. One, that's going to keep you moving in a straight line. You're going to be using less oxygen because you're not contracting the muscles into your back, and you are going to not be inducing anxiety, because when you look forward down the rope, you're looking into the future, and the future produces anxiety. You want to look at the rope just in front of you so that you're in the present, and you just want to think about what's happening right now. Just get into some rhythm that you can fall into and lose yourself in. Pull, equalize, be completely serene. And so the whole goal of freediving is to be as relaxed as possible, because if you're relaxed, you're burning less oxygen, and if you're burning less oxygen, then you can dive deeper and longer. Nicholas is an incredible teacher. He's really good. He's very encouraging, and he makes you feel incredibly safe while you're diving. And one of the things that he would tell you while you're diving, okay, this dive, when you feel like you want to stop and turn around, just do one more pull and then just stop. Just stop and hang out at the bottom and look around and enjoy the experience. It's not you must go further. It's just when you want to turn around, just stop and just wait there. You know that you're okay. You know you can hold your breath for 2 minutes or longer. You've done it before. As the day was coming to a close, I dove my deepest of 18 meters. So I needed 2 more meters in order to get to my goal of that weight. I really just tried to find a rhythm that I could fall into. I was starting to feel the urge to breathe, and it was uncomfortable. And so I started to think, I don't think I can actually make it to this 20 meters. I think I need to turn around. So I look up, I look down, and it's right there. The weight is right there. It's like 2 meters away. And so I just put my head down and make it down to the bottom. Now, since I'm at the weight, any discomfort has been overridden now with joy. I made it to the bottom, and now I'm halfway. Got to make it back to the surface. You want to be in the present moment. You want to be completely absorbed in the present while you're freediving. In order to excel at the sport of freediving, you have to learn how to meditate. You have to learn how to be present. It absorbs you and you end up in the eternal now and you lose yourself. With freediving specifically, that is explicitly the goal. My second day out in open water, I was able to dive down to 20 meters. And it actually turns out that the rope was longer. We had mismeasured it, and so I really dove to 22 meters. I ended up diving deeper than I thought I could just because we had mismeasured the rope, which goes to show that the whole thing was mental. Thank you, Freediving Club Greece, for teaching me how to freedive. You guys are really great at what you do, and you make it quite approachable. And so anybody that is wanting to learn how to freedive, go learn at Freediving Club Greece. They're great. They're really great teachers, and I would recommend it to anybody. Once we got back to the club, we took the final written test, and then we were officially certified in freediving. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos and share this video with a friend so that we can get this channel rolling. If you're interested in learning how to freedive, go to Freediving Club Greece. Big love, and remember to wash your hands.